So the ABCs of coping, now this is something that I came up with in order just to make things a little easier for people to remember. So A is awareness, an awareness of how we're feeling, noticing our thoughts, our physical sensations. So our body tells us a lot. So if we're experiencing tension, for example, that might be a signal to me that I'm feeling stress. If I'm feeling a tightening in my jaw, that might be a sense of anxiety or things like that. So when I talk about B, that's for the behavior piece. And then the C is for cognitions. Just for people that don't know, cognitions is just another word for thoughts. So it's how we think. So different situations can cause us to think a certain way. So for example, with the pandemic, a lot of people are feeling a sense of loneliness. So they're thinking, I'm all alone, and then they feel depressed. And so they tend to engage in social withdrawal, maybe overeating, oversleeping, things like that. And when we have an awareness of what's going on for us, it can help sometimes dig ourselves out of that hole instead of kind of continuing with that cycle of how it's affecting us. And so we can maybe change the way that we're viewing or thinking about a situation. I think what's most important is to acknowledge that a thought is just that. It's a thought. It's not truth. It's not fact, just because we think of it. It might have an element of truth or fact to it, but it doesn't make it set in stone. And there are different ways that you can deal with your thoughts. So one strategy is to notice them and allow them to come and go. There's an exercise called Leaves on a Stream. It's a mindfulness exercise where you just picture in your mind that each thought that comes into your mind, you picture placing it on a leaf and then watching it flow down a stream. And you keep doing that over and over with each thought that comes into your mind, no matter what it is, even if it's, I feel frustrated with this exercise. You imagine placing that on a leaf and watching it go on the stream. So you're not fighting with it, you're not getting entangled with the thought, you're not doing anything to change it, you're not trying to decrease the thoughts, it's just placing them on a leaf and imagining them go by. Where it's the 3 C's. So you catch it, you check it, you change it. But let's say I'm thinking of using that example of someone, seeing me and not saying hi, not greeting me. So I catch the thought, oh, I'm thinking they don't care about me. That's my thought. They don't care about me because they didn't say hi. I try to check it. Is this helpful or unhelpful? Well, that's unhelpful because I know that the next time I see them, I'm not going to want to greet them and I'm not going to want to engage with them because I think they don't care. So then how do you change that? Well, you take a look at it from a different perspective and consider alternatives to that thought. So for example, more balanced or realistic thinking. Perhaps they didn't see me. Perhaps they were in their own head kind of thinking about something else. Maybe they didn't notice me with my mask. Maybe they weren't wearing glasses. These are all other realistic or more balanced alternatives than just kind of going directly to the negative. I think starting with the awareness piece, many times we're doing things that we don't recognize that we're doing or that they're a problem. Many times we're not identifying that we're thinking a certain way and we don't recognize how those thoughts actually impact us, actually impact our behaviors, impact our relationships. So if I'm caught up in my thinking and it's starting to make me feel down or anxious, then my behavior might be related to like avoiding people, avoiding certain places, avoiding doing certain things, and then or engaging in other unhealthy behaviors. So having that awareness of how I'm feeling, how I'm behaving, how I'm thinking can really help the trajectory of that cycle and make it into one that is more healthy and helpful for us.